If I was anyone else, I would just listen to everyone else. But I'm such like a dumb asshole that I just don't listen to anybody else. And I'm like, no, this is going to work. And like,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the James Nielssen Show, episode number 5. We took like a month break because you know how it is on this channel. Sometimes I'm like, hey, what if I spend all my time trying to set as many world records as possible? And so then I go do that. But, you know, I think it's time for an episode. We're in New York City hanging out with the boys. And we got some bars and some beats that were made while here that are for the show. So let's get it. Grab a torch and a couple globberoni, getting stony, Zamboni with the homies. Nobody even knows that my flows get me bonuses in life. And by that I mean a lot of tail and one day a wife. I get right to the point like a tourist. Let us go explore the forest. Can't ignore this forward focus I got for the vision of the pop-off, sawed-off shotgun. Got one in my backseat, bad beats on the back burner. Turner tables like Timmy, minivan Jimmy. I'm the one they reference, deserving of the reverence. Every single sentence is coming hard like my vast deference. What's the difference between a goat and a legend? Somebody call a reverend. They snakes like Severus. This isn't dissonance. We go in diss to diss with all the hypocrites. I think this shit just flipped. Now we in a phase changing lanes. I'm amazed at the praise that I'm getting these days. I'm an obstacle like holding an ostrich hostage. Not my first bird beef, dodging bird beak in the trees last week. Might go and throw a rock or two at a damn cockatoo. Flying with a flock of few. Keep the crew tight. Satellite vision, I'm intentional. Did I mention that? I'm chilling in fucking New York City, down in the woods. I feel might have been the one. That was the one. Woo! Just hits different. Let's go.
So the last 15-ish minutes of this episode are a podcast with me and my really good friend at Prodigy Nelson. We have been good friends for like 5 years now. When we met on Twitter, when neither of us had anything, no followers, no work prospects, just nothing, no real music from me. And we both had this big picture vision and goal of some sort of content, media, creative company, I guess you would say, for lack of a better word. And it's taken a long time to get something like that established and grounded, and for us to build up the skill sets we need to do the things we need to do and to make certain connections and just make this really grandiose idea work. And it's finally starting to fall into place. So this conversation was just us talking about the process and what we've gone through the last 5-ish years to make this idea start to come true. So yeah, and also I say like a lot in this episode, and I'm really sorry. I think Prod does too, a good amount. So if I say like a lot in this motherfucking episode, I am sorry.
We had very similar, like, I dropped out of school. And they were like, okay, like, you're trying to make an app, that's kind of cute, but like, what's your backup plan? I'm like, backup plan? This is the fuck, like, I'm about to sell this app for $100 million in 3 years. Like, what do you mean backup plan? Like, that is what's happening. You know? And they're like, all right, Mark Zuckerberg over here. And then when that shit doesn't work out, like, take a hit to your confidence. But then, like, I did actually get a job making, like, real money. And then 6 months into that, I'm like, yeah, like, this is great, but like, what if I were working like part-time instead and had more time to do whatever the fuck I wanted to? Yeah. And people are like, dude, like, you don't have a college degree. By some miracle, you have a job. And you're going to dip in 6 months.
Dude, I remember actually you telling me that. I actually remember having like sort of that thought process as a first impression. Just like, dude, like, I know the journey you've been on. I know you just got this job and you're going to ask them to go part-time after not being there that long. Yeah. But then I was like, fuck it, we ball, you know? And you convinced me about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right, and that's the right move.
And it was. And like, I took a part-time, like, I did that part-time for like 8 more months, and then I did the full leap into like just having clients of my own. And like, if I just completely dropped them because like the environment was not what I wanted, then I probably would have been a little more difficult than like the part-time, like starting to get other things consistently, because naturally it always takes longer than you think it does.
Every time.
Without fail. Yeah, that's where my optimism sometimes painfully meets reality, is the timeline.
It's like the linear curve versus the, like, you see like I don't know how to explain this, but like maybe you see linearly, but the actual process is like that.
Yeah.
So like as you get there, you're like, damn, I should really like this is taking way longer, and then oh wait, no, it's going quicker now.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it all comes full circle what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because that's been what's been on, right? But that's been like our relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Like obviously really good friends, we're gonna be friends for a while, I would guess. But it's also that we kind of have these niche tendencies to get really deep into stuff that everyone else tells us is not a good idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that is a very common theme in our life.
And to be fair, most of it have been bad ideas, but it's the good ideas that are like so good that they just blow everything else out
You
of the
listen
water,
to Smash Mouth and you say, what if I put every word somebody? That literally got me that job at Basketball, which like got me, which, you know, and then my YouTube blew up, and I literally had like 2.5 years where I didn't have to work. And I did, and I was going to grad school in different situations, but like didn't have to work and just focused on making videos and music. And then like it's just crazy because people don't really get that, you know?
Yeah.
And I got that from just making so much dumb stuff that one of them was going to work, you know? And
that's what happens.
And that's how it goes.
That is how it goes.
Because like, it's not a competition of everyone sitting around and being like, let's think about the one video that's going to change it all. Because you just don't know. You can never know.
You can never know.
You can never just plan your success
around that.
Yeah. So you just have to just throw everything.
Shit posting into the ether.
Put that on my t-shirt. Shit post to the ether.
Globber ink.
Yeah. Like, dude, if I was anyone else, I would just listen to everyone else. But
Yeah.
I'm such like a dumb asshole that I just don't listen to anybody else. And I'm like, no, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like you on paper, you would think this guy's a damn idiot. And like, you know, it's only worked very minimally for me, but that's enough. Like you really don't need much.
Enough to keep coming back.
Exactly.
And that's what matters.
Yeah. And I've wanted to quit and give up so many times.
Yeah.
And I've like written long texts to definitely you and my other friends like, here are the reasons I am done making music. Here's an itemized list of all the bullshit I've put up with making music, and frankly I'm sick of it, so I'm quitting. And then like 3 days later, hey guys, I just made this beat, check it out, I got some lyrics I'm working on.
Dude, I mean, it's happened to me so many times. It's like building things has just been poisoned by like certain projects, you know, where I'm just like, this fucking sucks. I will never build something that works, and if it works, it'll work for 6 months until everything breaks and I have to rebuild it because like
entirely.
Oh my god, dude, I've been through that like 2 distinct times where I then took like 4-month breaks of just nothing.
Oh yeah, like our how many months do you think we played Fortnite a majority of our day? Or like not the majority of the day, but just like
Definitely
way too much.
3 months of like full-time Fortnite.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was like. Because I played more than you, so I can confidently say like, because I was, you know, playing like scrims and really trying to like play professionally and stream, but like you were playing with me a lot of that for a solid 3 months, and that was so fun. Like
that was a blast.
Just to
We're
fuck off.
pretty good at Fortnite now.
Yeah, like the chemistry.
Project. If I knew how much work it was how much suffering was ahead of me to build Me Too, like we were 2 weeks away from launch for like 2.5 months.
I remember that, yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, oh, like we need this. Oh, like this isn't done. Like, oh, this is gonna like, building chat from scratch is gonna take me like 5 weeks actually. Of like, you know, typing indicators. You want to see those little bubbles?
Yeah.
I played with like trigonometric.
Trigonometric.
Yeah, I guess. So we'll go with that.
Something like that.
Animations. I literally have the typing dots on like a sine curve, but of course like the animated library that comes standard, you couldn't do that, so I had to find like the most niche library that let me do math with animations, and like I spent like 3 days making circles go up in a way that felt pretty, and it's like, do we need this to have a successful app? Like probably not. Nobody's deleting this app over the typing indicators, you know, but it's like that level of like just obsession with the craft. If you don't have it, you will give up. I just wish I like reined it in a touch better.
For sure. It's hindsight is definitely 2020, and you kind of have to like put your hand on the stove a few times to really learn it. and just learn the pitfalls by like, I mean, it kind of feels like being inoculated, like getting a vaccine or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you get a little taste of it so that you can build up a defense or like, you know, an anticipation of the next time you're going down a rabbit hole, because you're like,
exactly.
I learned that there are actually a lot of rabbit holes you can go down that don't
more rabbit holes than not rabbit holes.
Exactly. Like it's a crazy proportion of how much like you can get distracted by things that might not be distracting.
Don't matter.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
Getting lost in the woods. No, we barred out when we got here. It was a pretty... Yeah. So I will say, and I've said this to you already, but I'll say it for everyone else. Like when I got here, I really didn't know what to expect, because we've talked about this like vague kind of big picture thing for a while. So I've always known what the long-term goal is, but I didn't really know, like, I've only seen pictures of your setup. I haven't met Tim, your roommate, and I'll play at some point Tim's TikTok. Maybe just put it right here in the middle of the screen and freeze us.
Yep.
Eyes red, beta, you a hater, see you later. Number one, you a heater. Number two, like Derek Jeter, flush you down, you a feeder. Someone better call Peter. You burn yourself, put eyes red, beta on the shelf.
And so we made that within like
12 hours.
Yeah, for the whole thing to be done.
Yeah.
And then the song, like the 80% of it within like 20 to 30 minutes of meeting you guys. Like we sat down in this room. I'm gonna burp. So I'll cut there. We sat down in this room and just immediately started making this diss track, and it was like, all right, this is pretty fucking sick. Yeah, like this is a great group of people.
Could not be more instantaneous.
Yeah, like literally.
You brought your computer in, took like everything out of your bag, which was your laptop, and then like 10 minutes later we're going back for your mic so that we could start
that's right. We're like, because I didn't just automatically say, all right guys, we're gonna start making a song. It was like, oh okay, well let's mess around, kind of freestyle a little bit. And we're like, all right, I think we're gonna need the mic, write it down, and then just make something super quick, which is, you know, the moments I live for and have been preparing for. And so it's cool to like, because I also don't really work with other people for that reason who aren't friends. Is just because I haven't been good enough at the production and the workflow and having things ready and being able to like take someone else's idea and turn it into something. But because I've been practicing that and practicing on my own, things like that can happen now. You know, it was like an immediate reward for exactly what we've been talking about for 5 years. Just like spontaneously combusted in front of us and happened. So it was just like a really, really cool moment for anyone listening. That was like a highlight of my year for sure. Like I remember that night, that was so fun.
I mean, I'm just so thrilled that like the things we have been plotting were like immediately verified, and then like I had the rest of the people that are going to be involved with like what we're building, and pretty immediately like you freestyled a bunch of songs and everyone was like losing their fucking like my friend is like literally sliding down the couch over the course of 5 bars, is like completely horizontal on the floor, and like, oh my gosh, just dropping some heat, and everyone's like, holy shit, like I would listen to this, and like I already listened to all your shit on loop like in my free time, but everyone else was like, oh my god, I can hear this on the radio. And I haven't listened to the radio willingly since I was like 12.
No, it's just bad enough to be on the radio.
Honestly, fair.
But no, that was pretty wild for me. Obviously, very self-indulgent to like relive that.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's pretty awesome when you like make a song and a beat you're really happy about, and then you perform in front of people you don't know, and they're all like, "Oh, that was fucking sick!" Yeah. And like I'll clip in some videos of that because I think we got like a little bit of footage.
With the chickens, I ain't chicken and drumsticks. You dumb bitch, bet you never skip leg day. Come a couple hoodies, but I put them on leg. We're waiting for the hand. Okay, hey, so I think we're pretty cool. Maybe we can go and smoke a couple J's by the pool, or take off in a UFO. We can move some flow with the aliens like yo, until it all moves slowly. We're back to the sweet life like Zach and Cody. You know, Mr. Mosby, but these hoes be tripping. I got a billion years difference. So come and fuck with the business, and let's get it.
Yeah, that's like, you feel really good about yourself and like feel validated that like
it's immensely validating.
God, what, like if I had to pick the beat number that's probably like my 700th or 800th, maybe 1000th beat if I count everything I've ever made, over 1,000 beats. And it's like it took that many to get to a point where I was like, I'm actually comfortable enough to show this in front of people. Like a year ago I definitely wouldn't have.
And it's even at a subconscious level, like you just are better with confidence. Like if you don't have the confidence, you're not going to pull it off, and you're going to falter, and it's never going to be the complete thing, start to finish, that people are like, holy shit, that was good.
Yeah.
And so it's that same runaway where like that success is then immediately validated by such a powerful reward that like the next iteration yields even more because it's that much more polished. You know, it's...
I don't know if you have any final thoughts or tangents you want to go on before we close it up.
Not really.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Thought?
Yeah.
Us, actually.
Us.
We
very
did.
derangedly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you would have like taken us respectively, the first, like, taken it, like, sat us down and talked to us and said, you two guys just met, this dude has a Twitter picture of him in a hot dog costume and he looks like a fucking idiot, and they're both gonna try to write tweets, and then like in 5 or 6 or 7 years they're gonna be more or less running their own creative businesses and conservatively making a living off that for a while. You know, that's being very conservative.
Very conservative.
That's being very conservative. I would just be like, yeah, fucking right. Like, I would, of course, the part of me would be like, yeah, of course, but it'd be like,
I don't believe you.
Like if it wasn't me from the future, like if it was a random person, I wouldn't have believed them. I would not, no matter who it was.
If you showed me this picture, I would have been like, yes, but also like, teach me Photoshop, because clearly like there's just no way. So like
I don't even really know what a snare is at this point.
Like,
so yeah, fucking awesome. Thank you for having me out here and like making this trip so sick, and for sticking with the vision for so long and like hanging with me like while I've hung with you, and like just...
You make it easy, dude.
Yeah, so do you. So fucking sheesh. Thanks for watching. I'm out.